For the next 2 weeks, we are going to work on Chapter 9. It is called Two-Dimensional Shapes and Equal Shares. Vamos a trabajar con el capítulo 9. Este capítulo 9 se trata de formas y de partes iguales. Let's begin with our vocabulary cards. These are words that you need to know what they mean in order to work in your chapter. Estas son las palabras que debes saber para poder trabajar en el capítulo 9. First word, circle. A round shape closed all the way. Círculo. Una forma redonda. Equal parts. Sometimes you can make two shapes out of one big shape, but they have to be the same. Sometimes you can cut your shape in more than two shapes, but they still have to be the same. Partes iguales. Puedes cortar una forma en dos pedazos, pero estos dos pedazos deben de ser iguales. Puedes cortar tu forma en más de dos pedazos, pero todos los pedazos tienen que ser iguales. Fourths. You cut one shape into 4 equal parts. Here's your clue. The word four. Esto es cortar una forma en 4 pedazos iguales. Halves. Cutting one shape into 2 equal pieces. Mitad. Cortar tu forma en 2 partes iguales. Rectangle. A rectangle is a closed shape with 2 big sides and 2 little sides. En un rectángulo tenemos 2 partes más grandes y 2 partes más chicas. Side. A side is a straight line on one side of the shape. Lado. Uno de los lados de tu forma. Square. All of your sides are the same length. Cuadrado. Todos los lados son iguales. Trapezoid. This shape has 2 sides that are the same. They're going the same way. But then you have 2 sides that are going diagonal. For this shape, we can picture a triangle, but then to this triangle, we cut a little piece off. This piece is the trapezoid. This piece is a triangle. Esta forma tiene dos lados que van iguales para el mismo lado y luego dos lados en diagonal. Es como si hubiéramos tenido un triángulo grande y le cortamos un pedacito arriba. Este se mantiene en triángulo, pero este hizo la forma de aquí. Triangle. Un triángulo. 3 lados. Two-dimensional shape. A two-dimensional shape is a flat shape. And it can have no sides. It can have 3 sides. It can have 4 sides. Vertex. A vertex is a little corner. This square has a little corner here, has a little corner here, has a little corner here, and has a little corner here. This shape has 4 of them. Vertex. Whole. The whole thing is everything. If I tell you to color the whole shape, then you have to color all the pieces. If we have a shape, but I tell you to color half, then you make a line to have 2 equal pieces, and then you would only color one of those pieces. This is half. But if you color the whole thing, this is whole. Entera, la parte entera. Estás pintando todos los pedazos. Si lo cortas por mitad y nomás cortas un pedazo, es la mitad. Pero si pintas todos los pedazos, es toda la forma entera. Composite. Composite shape is when you take 2 or more shapes and you make a new shape. Here we have 2 triangles and a rhombus, and we made a new shape. Forma compósita. Tienes 2 formas o más y las juntas para hacer una forma nueva. When you think of sides, I want you to think of these little toothpick shapes. If there's a toothpick, it's a side. Some sides are the same. Some sides are bigger and some sides are smaller. When my 2 toothpicks come together, I have a corner. I have a vertex. Page 636. Two-dimensional shapes are flat shapes. They can be open or closed. Here is an open shape. It's missing one side. Here is a closed shape. All the sides are touching. Podemos tener 2 tipos de formas, una forma abierta que le falta un lado o una forma cerrada donde todos los lados están tocando. Squares and rectangles are two-dimensional shapes. They are closed. They have straight sides and vertices. That means corners, vertex. Here is a square. The important thing about a square is that all the sides are the same, just like I did with my toothpick. My toothpicks, here I have 4 toothpicks that are the same. When I put them together, they make a square. A square, let's count our sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides in a square. When you count your sides, I want you to make these little lines so that you know you've already counted them. Un cuadrado tiene 4 lados. Cada línea derecha es un lado. En tu trabajo, cuando estés contando los lados, quiero que les hagas una línea pequeña para que sepas que ya contaste ese lado. Now we're going to count the corners. When you count the corners, I want you to make a little circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices. Cuando cuentes las esquinas, quiero que les hagas una línea pequeña. Un círculo pequeño. A square. All sides are equal. Todos los lados son iguales. Now let's try the rectangle. A rectangle, just like my toothpicks, I had 2 little toothpicks that were the same, but then I had 2 big toothpicks, and these 2 are the same. Para mi rectángulo, tengo 2 lados grandes y 2 lados chicos. Sides. Let's count the sides. Remember to put your little line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 straight sides. Now the vertices, which are the corners. A vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices. How many sides and vertices? We're going to do the same thing that we did here. Let's count the sides. Put your line so you don't forget where you counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. Circle the vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices. Number 2. Count your sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. Count your vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices. I want you to discuss with someone in your house how are rectangles and squares alike? How are a rectangle and a square alike? These two. What is the same about them? This is your page that you are going to work on by yourself. How many sides and vertices? Circle the objects that match the first shape. Which ones look like this? Which one looks like this? Circle the closed shapes. Closed shapes must touch on all of the sides.